Hey guys, and welcome to another Animal Crossing video. I am Crossing Channel, and right now it feels like everyone is talking about the latest glitch in Animal Crossing New Horizons, which allows you to walk on water and even clip into different objects in the game. Now this is very fun, and there have been many different glitches in Animal Crossing New Horizons since launch, some releasing in new updates, and others that have been there since the very start. However, Nintendo has typically been very on top of actually patching these glitches. Even though patching glitches is usually a good thing because it improves the game, some of the glitches in Animal Crossing New Horizons were honestly really interesting and added some kind of new dynamic to the game. So I wanted to take a look at 5 glitches that Nintendo has patched in Animal Crossing New Horizons. So if you're excited for this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on those channel notifications for more Animal Crossing videos. Before we begin, I just wanted to quickly mention that I have new Crossing Channel merch in my merch store. We have a bunch of different Bob's Gang merch that you can get. I'm really happy with how it turned out, so I hope you'll check it out and consider buying some to support the channel. The link is in the description. Number 1. Okay, so first of all, I have to talk about one that I think is honestly super duper cool. This glitch was there in the game, I think sometime around the summer last year, and many people use this to make their own little secret entrances with this waterfall glitch. Basically, as you can see Memori doing on this screenshot, you can actually jump through the waterfalls to kind of make some kind of like hidden type entrance. It was really cool, honestly, and this was the type of glitch I'm talking about where it didn't actually affect the game in a bad way, but instead added some kind of new dynamic. You could make your own little secret areas by having your own secret waterfall entrance, and this was really cool. However, it seems like in the first summer update they came through and patched this, which was definitely a shame. Of course, it was never intended to be in the game to begin with, so of course they were going to patch it. Nintendo is usually really on top of patching glitches and bugs within their game, but personally I thought this one was super harmless and would have actually made a really cool feature in the game itself. It, of course, is a bit improbable for our characters to jump over the waterfall, but I guess it could have been cool if maybe there was another way for them to make some kind of secret entrance to get through. There was other glitches with waterfalls in Animal Crossing New Horizons too, so it doesn't surprise me too much that this was a thing. I definitely remember this one that is being shown off on the screen right now, where the waterfall gets that weird little clip bit on top of it. I remember seeing that on my own island. So yeah, waterfalls definitely had quite a few problems back in the day, but it seems like last summer, 2020, these waterfall glitches were patched by Nintendo. Again, I don't really know if it's a good thing for the waterfall entrance thing to have been patched or not. I think a lot of people really liked it and used it on their islands and were quite disappointed when Nintendo patched it. But of course, with any glitch in a video game, you can't really expect it to stay forever. It's not a feature. However, that's not to say that Nintendo doesn't actually turn some of these glitches into features, which we'll be talking about later in this video. Number 2. This glitch, I'm sure a lot of you Day 1 players will remember. It was incredibly infamous and caused quite a lot of problems for players in the games back in the day. So these were the house exterior glitches, where the exteriors for your villagers would not match up with the villagers who actually lived in the house. It was actually really interesting, and I remember experiencing this on my own island. Now, there was honestly really no way of fixing this aside from moving the villager out. So if you got the perfect villager, but it ended up glitching and they got the wrong house exterior, you'd be stuck with that unless you got rid of them. For example, here's Bob's house when it's glitched. However, Bob's house usually would have this sort of yellow exterior with a blue kind of roof. So as you can see, that's totally different. It's basically another villager's house exterior altogether. So yeah, this was definitely a problem and something that I'm really glad they did patch. I'm not entirely sure if they fixed it for people who still have glitched houses. If any of you still have a glitched house on your island, definitely let me know. I'm not entirely sure if they fixed that, but I know this problem no longer happens anymore. So that's definitely one thing that they did fix that's really great. Now this is what would cause it. Using a villager from the campsite to replace a villager who just moved in. Having a campsite villager replace a villager who's moving out. Time traveling backwards or time traveling forward multiple days at once while the villager is in the process of moving in or out. So as you can see, many common conditions that we would just kind of experience day to day in Animal Crossing New Horizons would cause this glitch. And it was definitely a problem because honestly, a lot of the house exteriors that, ended up glitching did not match the villagers who were living with that house at all. It just felt a bit off, so I'm really glad that they actually did come through and patch this one. I think this one is a good example of a really interesting glitch that we definitely didn't need in the game and definitely didn't add anything interesting, just kind of made problems for players who wanted to have a more normal island. Number 3. So there have been many duplication glitches in Animal Crossing New Horizons. There might even be a few around now, I'm not entirely sure, but I definitely think there's something. However, this one was really interesting. This was the Mailbox duplication glitch, which was something that could actually be done through local co-op. I believe it's one of the few glitches in the games that was done exclusively through local co-op. I don't think you could do it without it, but basically it involved you using your mail in local co-op to basically duplicate items, as you can see on the screen. Now with glitches like this, Nintendo will swoop in as quick as they possibly can to fix them, because this is the type of glitch that Nintendo really hates the most. You might think of some glitches in Animal Crossing New Horizons that Nintendo hasn't fixed for a really long time. Like, let's take a look at the 4th layer glitch, which actually allows you to get on top of the 4th layer and decorate it, which usually you can't do in the game. They still haven't fixed that. But something like the duplication glitches, they've been very on top of fixing, and they've done their best to try and get rid of these as soon as they happen. This is of course because duplication glitches can technically disturb the flow of the game. Whether you agree with that or not, that's definitely how Nintendo sees it, so they wanted to make sure they patched these out as soon as possible. So anytime you see a new duplication glitch, it's likely Nintendo probably knows about it, and they're probably working on some kind of fix for it. That being said, of course there are always going to be exploits in video games. Animal Crossing New Leaf had a ton of different exploits that they weren't really able to fix, so I'm not sure if they'll ever be able to get rid of every kind of duplication glitch or exploit in the game that allows you to duplicate items like this. But they'll certainly try, because when it comes to glitches like this, it's the type of thing they really don't want to see in the game. Personally, I'm not too fussed about these glitches going. I think getting the items yourself is more fun, but if people want to duplicate, that's up to them at the end of the day. Just be warned that Nintendo will probably do whatever they can to get rid of these types of glitches when they learn that they're in the game. Number 4. This one is a glitch that actually has a really happy ending, and it's what I'm talking about earlier in the video. So basically this glitch involved the camera UI. As you can see in Animal Crossing New Horizons, you can take away the UI of the camera by pressing down on one of the Joy-Con's little controller sticks. You can turn the guide off or on. And this is really cool, this helps you take better photos in the game. But for those of you who weren't playing since day one, you couldn't originally do this without a glitch. You would always have the UI available. So they actually saw this glitch in the game and they patched it out, but in return for doing so, they gave us a new feature where you can just simply remove the UI. I think Nintendo realized this was just a good idea in itself, and they probably thought to themselves, okay, why did we not do this to begin with? So that was something they added in, and I thought that was really nice that we actually got a glitch that was really helpful in the game turned into a proper feature. Now of course I know it's not the most exciting feature, it's not as cool as being able to jump into waterfalls, but it does prove that glitches in the game have the potential to be turned into actual features if Nintendo thinks they're useful enough. Number 5. So this glitch was another one that was a bit more of a problem than some of the others on this list. It involved these Zen bridges in Animal Crossing New Horizons, and for a short amount of time, players simply could not walk over them. They would get stuck. I don't know if I would call this a game-breaking glitch, but it definitely was a big problem, because if you had these bridges on your island, you literally wouldn't be able to move over them for a little while. Thankfully, Nintendo came through pretty quickly to patch this out, which was great. It definitely was a big problem in the game that a lot of people experienced, so it's great that they came through and patched it really quickly with an update. It was interesting that it only affected the Zen bridges. I guess they must have made some kind of mistake in the previous update to cause this, but thankfully it is one of those glitches that has been gone and hasn't seen any kind of return in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number 6. Now, bringing us back full circle, I have to talk about the original Walk on Water glitch, which was patched out pretty early on in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Here's how it worked. If an item that could be sat on and turned around in, such as a stool, was placed outside right by the sea, and an item such as a star fragment or a shell had spawned in front of it, sitting on the chair and turning 180 degrees and hopping off would clip the player into the water. The player could walk around as they pleased, so they could not catch fish or bugs. Fish bait could still be used. Now of course this works very similarly to how we do the current puzzle piece glitch in Animal Crossing New Horizons, which allows us to clip into different items and of course the rivers around our island. This wasn't the only walk on water glitch in the game either. There were actually another, I think, that got patched out, or it might still be in the game. I'm not entirely clear on that, but this one that we are seeing currently is definitely the most prevalent. And I guess it does kind of go to show that this glitch probably will get patched out in a future update, especially due to the fact it has been so well known and so well documented online. I definitely think Nintendo would have noticed it. But I honestly really like things like this. Giving players the ability to kind of do something a bit different through a glitch is a lot of fun. Of course, it's not an intentional thing, but it just, you know, gives us something more to do in the game when there's nothing going on. I really love the fact that players have discovered so many different glitches in the game, and the fact that so many of these glitches are honestly pretty cool. When you, like I said earlier, when you think of glitches in a video game, you tend to think of them as really bad things that affect the game badly and make it kind of a crummy experience. But most of the glitches in Animal Crossing New Horizons have honestly been pretty interesting. Of course, they were never intended to be in the game, but I still think they're pretty fun to try out all the same. So guys, let me know in the comments section, are you sad that any of these glitches ended up getting patched in Animal Crossing New Horizons? Have you experienced any glitches in the game yourself? Definitely let me know in the comments section down below, and if you made it to the end, be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know that you did. I want to say thank you to my channel members for supporting the channel and the content I make here. You can become a channel member by clicking the join button or the link in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like and you can subscribe for more Animal Crossing content. Thank you for watching and catch you in the next video.